few comments. This will be quick, in and out. Just a little bit coming up for your commentary on this post debate stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just want to thank everyone who actually attended the live stream. The main event is what it was coined, and I think that we definitely got an earful. And yes, I will say things started out, you know, on from Trump's behalf. I think it started out very composed and he was pretty consistently answering questions, and then it just seems, he got, when I think about it overall, I mean, whether you agree with Trump on most things or I have to admit that for the amount of things that have been exposed and the lack of justice that's happened at this height, at these heights of government, I can, he started losing his composure pretty quickly. And Joe Biden, there were things that he was just gonna say, well, that's been disputed, or that's been disputed, and it never really offered a full rebuttal on what he was on whether you want to call it a claim or an attack, whatever you want to call it. But I do think that Trump answered the most questions. He had a lot. Of course, Trump was not short on words. He wasn't short on things to say. And I don't like that it came off the rails. I don't really care for that angle of it. But I think, if we're going jab for jab, shot for shot, I think that, I think Trump landed the most. He landed the most facts. He landed the most support for his time. And I think he put a lot of things to bed for many of Americans that are not tuning in. And see, this is the problem, I think, ladies and gentlemen. The average American, or I don't want to say the normies, is what is it? ABL will say. Most people, I find that the people that are most attracted to the left and to that agenda, they were not tuned in. I'm not a betting woman, but I would bet that most people did not watch this debate. So they will remain in the dark. They will remain to be without objective. They will continue to have no framework or no facts to work with. I will say, it became explosive. That's about. I think that's the thing that they might ding him. Of course, the left and the NY Times and the Post and all of these, and the Washington Post. All of these people are going to ding him on his temperament, or on his countenance, if you will. But I do believe that he understands. He understands what his job is. He understands the scope of what he's been dealing with. And I think they spent the most time. I think they spent the most time on the COVID, and they spent the most time on the maybe even on race relations, if you will. And I think Trump was really strong. I think he was really strong. Shout out to you, Felicia Lockhart Show. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much. This is not going to be long, guys. I just want to kind of get in and get out. But there was a lot coming out. And I'm just thinking, just once you start doing the jabs, the thing that remains on people's minds, the thing that sticks with people will be the low blows. It won't be the facts. So I don't know who does prep for these two candidates. I'm coming out. I'm being, what can I say? I'm going to be devil's advocate just for a second. And I'm rarely devil's advocate, but this time I'm going to be devil's advocate. And I'm going to say that I would hope that the person that is prepping Trump will play this video back, play this recording back for him, and let him see where he started from. And let him see where he started from and where he wanted to. And not to say, I'm saying I don't think that he was not fact. I don't think that he was factless. No, I have issues with vaccines, and I have been very, very consistent with that. And I've been pretty vocal about it, and I haven't even done a segment on it because I think it's a segment that could take some time to do a segment when you're talking about vaccines and when you're talking about specific demographics of people being at the forefront of that. If you're going, I have a major problem with this perception that we need to front load everything with the Black community. I really do. I'm not a fan of the pandering, and I'm talking about both sides. I said I wasn't gonna get it. I'm just this platinum plan. I'm not a fan of all the pieces in that. I'll go into that another time, but I'm saying it's another part of pandering, because I'm going to say I'm going to put this out there just for the political realm. You're in there for 3.5, 4 years. Take some time and do if you really want to know what's going on, if you really want to know how people are living, if you really want to know how people's schools, how the kids' schools are, there is a way to do that. But I don't think you can window dress, and I don't think you can blindly throw money at anything. You have to find out how things are actually being run. You have to teach people how to be problem solvers and think systematically. I am sick of the pandering, and I'm sick of this talk about these vaccines. I really am. This is unprecedented, people. This is unprecedented. And I find it staggering that people are not speaking out about it. I've had it. What do we know that's new? We've exposed all these paramilitaries, these proxies, these paramilitaries of the left. We've done all of that. But we have to if you're going to solve anything, you have to get people in with systematic thinking, and they have to become problem solvers. And when I'm saying problem solving, I'm talking about this is the hand you were dealt. Okay. I'm going to put it down there like that. As they say in the South, we'll put it down there where the cows can get it. This is the hand you were dealt. Now, what are you coming back with? What solutions are you offering? I don't want to hear any more. I don't want to hear any more about people throwing money, blindly throwing money. If people's homes and families are broken, you can throw money all you want, and they'll be on a shopping spree until all of that money is gone. What is it? I don't know what the saying goes. I'm not the originator of it, but not knowing is no excuse. No. And I'm speaking to the Black community. You can't afford that anymore. You cannot. You couldn't afford it before, but maybe somebody needs to tell you. I figured we've got some old-fashioned problems going on out here. Many people are not used to not getting their way, or they're not used to having an authority figure, or they're not used to getting that discipline when they did something wrong at home. Instead, we've become more tolerant. Teaching teachers to be tolerant, teaching these liberal teachers that are running these schools to be social workers. Oh, well, we got to find out what's wrong with the child. instead of what is the problem? If you've got a classroom of 27, why let one disrupt 27? Why? But no, you'd rather keep them in there and keep, oh, well, we're going to give. Why is it that liberals, why do they do that? They come out in support of the weakest and the lowest and the lowest common denominator. What is that? What is that? Shout out to everybody in the stream. I guarantee this is going to be less than 20 minutes. I'm already 11 minutes in. And I've already turned into a rant. Shout out to DJ Vision Barnett. I will not be long. I'm supposed to be on somebody else's stream. However, I'm saying I am not impressed with, I'm telling you, the way things are right now, ladies and gentlemen, things are so messy right now. And they're doing so much, and they've done so much pandering and so much politics that they don't realize that they've made it more apparent. They've made it more apparent the fine line that's actually there. You say you're doing this because you want people to succeed. You saying you're doing this simply because a person is of a black or African or a minority background. Well, at the end of the day, what if you're both wrong? If you're using the same tactics, then you're both wrong. You end up being wrong. We have plenty of programs in this country that came from these so-called progressive, Woodrow Wilson, FDR, his alphabet soup programs. Look, a whole lot of government and money being thrown at people and thrown at programs. It's not impressive, folks, not on the left or the right. You're not solving anything because you have not gotten to the root. And then, like I said, I'm not going to get into that program. So in 2 minutes, I'm going to bail out. I want to thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for coming in on that debate. It was nice to see you guys engaging amongst yourselves. And, I'm telling you, it got to be, it started out, the debate it started out at one place and then it just became, things just became so distracting that I just kind of, just stick with the issues and try not to, if you need to fact check someone, fact check them, but don't let these things turn into a mollywop or a train wreck, because we have, when you lack order, there's no beginning and there's no end. We had a beginning, but then towards the end, I'm like, okay, what do you want to be the last? What things do you want people to remember about your campaign or what you're trying to achieve? I mean, the Democrats had a lot to say to discredit Trump for closing those borders. I remember Pelosi specifically telling people, come on down to Chinatown. He's just being xenophobic, or, the usual word salad, hot word salad. Live your life. I mean, out of New York. And I think he called Biden on so many things. He certainly didn't denounce Antifa or BLM. While they keep bringing up the whole white supremacy thing. And see, to me, that was a weak point for Trump. I'm like, just answer the thing right off. Just answer the question. He says, what he did, he put it back on them. Who do you want me to denounce? Don't quit the straw man. Quit the straw man and give me. When he flipped it on them, I was hoping that he would take it back and say, I'll denounce anybody's, but you got to give me, but frame it up so that they have to bring it, so that they have to complete, so that it's off of you, and that you've done what you needed to do. You said what you needed to say. And I think he can work on that. And it's the same old thing. The projection that Biden was doing, the same old playbook. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you would think he was the president during Barack Obama's term. No, he wasn't. He was in the back. He was number two. And I think he was not in the limelight when he was vice president. He wasn't. Saying he saved the country from the biggest, one of the biggest crises. They also sat on that economy. It was flat for many months. I don't know if you guys remember everybody getting like some little stimulus check, maybe $300 or something back then. It took forever. So I'm just saying, that those are pretty much my comments. We didn't get into Trump economics. We all know that typically lower taxes, less regulation, you get a different result. You can have growth, versus they want to shut everything down. And they know the temperature is right. It's a hotbed right now. It would destroy it. It would. And then that's when they're good. The crisis, everything that the left does, it's crisis built. Save the country via the crisis. They've been doing that since 2008. They came, look at the Obama presidency started on a crisis. And look where we are now. We're in a different presidency, and they still have the power to use another crisis to say, surrender all your rights. We'll take care of it. Surrender everything. If you don't surrender everything right now, that's it. The world's going to end. That's what this is about, people. The climate change and it's about them having full control. It's about them turning this economy and this government over to a foreign government. It's about we the people losing the control. Because I'm telling you, this vote, this election is toast. It's toast. It is toast. Because the thing about it is that they have been projecting for 4 years. They've done nothing. That party's done nothing for 3.5, 4 years. But then they're out here, all of a sudden they gotta save the world by spending all, taxing the hell out of everybody. That's gonna save the world, right? Yeah, and then Biden, that's his legacy, is plagiarizing that's the UN slogan, Build Back Better. That was their slogan, by the way. It's not his. And then the Green New Deal, he got blasted. That was a genius. He said Joe Biden couldn't even say he supported the Green New Deal. He said he didn't. He actually said he didn't. And so Trump says, "Oh, you just lost your whole party." And the thing about it, Biden says, "Oh, I am the party. I am the Democrat Party." Well, that's not saying much. So, then that's, to me, that couldn't be further from the truth. So shout out to everybody in the stream. So yeah, I'm kind of jumping around quite a bit, but him saying that he was the party, and I think that moderator is a train wreck. He's a walking time bomb. They need somebody else. Because I mean, he was getting jabs, trying to get jabs in too. I mean, he did go at Biden, but he certainly takes his time getting digs into Trump, whether it's Fox News or not. And then, of course, where in the world do we go when we need to drum up the racism narrative? It's Charlottesville. They're still on Charlottesville. As if you cannot have people that support you, as if you can't have peaceful people on both sides of an argument. And when I say that, I mean you have people that are not violent. You have people that are carrying a sign that aren't poking in somebody's eye on the left and on the right. But you know what? They're not going to take the time. And I don't even think he addressed it. I mean, because it's really a broken record. They spent 2.5 years, 3 years on Charlottesville, and denying that he's offered to send in the guard for these cities. They all rejected it. Chicago, Lightfoot, the people have gotten involved. The black business owners in Chicago, it's been so bad that they were offering up to $100,000 at one point. They were willing to offer make the person's life a little bit easier. To stop the crime, to get the murderers for some of the kids that were killed earlier this year. So but I'm going to say this, Mr. President, this is my message. Stop throwing money at problems. The problems are deep rooted. And there's no dollar amount that you can throw at them. Get somebody, you needed somebody to conduct, they're always talking about, the left always talks about conducting studies and doing on reparations. Why don't you take that same energy and do a study and get into some of these communities? Go to some of these HBCUs and see how they're ran like liberal cities. And see, it's one thing about Biden. He boldly, flat out told a bold-faced lie about Delaware State. Flat out. Don't tell a lie about the university. Go to the university. Talk to the students. Get your group, get your think tank group to go talk to students. Go to these communities. Go to these churches. Go to some of these fast food restaurants. Talk to the people. Stop throwing money. Stop throwing the money. Stop planning to throw the money. Because that's not going to get you any votes. I don't think that's the way either way. Whether you're trying to get votes or whatever, you are blindly throwing money at things that you don't have the full scope to resolve. And once again, I want to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I appreciate you guys coming in for the post commentary. I really appreciate it. And I think we should hang in there and see what happens. This is certainly a different type of election cycle, without a doubt. So I appreciate you guys. Shout out to the loyal patrons, Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Chrysler Imperial H, Let the Truth Be Told, Little Miss Goth, Cold War Jesus, and AZ Infidel. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. I really appreciate you guys. If you're out there, if you're listening, for coming in or stopping by or rolling by with the window down. However, I appreciate it very much. So, take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your Tuesday/Wednesday. It's almost Wednesday for you guys on the East Coast. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next live stream, comment section, next video, Moonlight or Flash stream. Good night.